Good Friday night. It's about 35 outside degrees. Welcome the new subscribers. And like I say, I don't mind kids on here, but this one kid, every video he's in, he got his parent or guardian. Hello, Foot Friday. Yeah, it's Foot Friday. Yeah, and I got my socks on. It's, that's what parents are supposed to do. Be right there with their kids when they get online. That's a very smart parent and guardian. Thank you. And people, do not give up on getting subscribers. It'll take a while. It also helps if you believe in God, no matter how young or how old you are. God will help you grow your YouTube channel. But don't give up on your YouTube channel. Keep going. No matter how young or how old you are. God will help you all. Okay, let you know something about me. I'm 70 plus, 70 plus. I had 4 heart attacks, high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, and back problems. The rules of my YouTube channel: no cussing, no arguing, no sexual harassment, and no arguing with anybody. Don't talk about killing cats or eating cats. You'll be gone in no time. Because we got a bunch of animals lover. Hello, Hayden. How you doing today? Tonight. I hope everybody had a good turkey day yesterday. I had ham. The kitty cats had ham. And outside Mama Boots, this is 2 or 3 nights in a row that she been in the cage on the porch under the heat lamp. Hello, Justin. How you doing? Yeah, you're getting up there. You're getting up there. I like your closet. I like them doors you had on your closet. It's nice, your closet, the way those doors is. I like them. I wish I had something like it in my house. And they're pretty nice doors. I like them. I like them, I like them, I like them. And I hope you had a good turkey day there, Justin. Like everybody else, either turkey or ham or nachos or hamburgers or something. I saw something in the store today. I didn't know JC store carry it. I just hope the one up in Scottsburg Monday, when it's the 1st, Monday's the 1st, they had Wendy's hamburger. And I think I'm going to buy some Wendy's hamburger from the JC store or Kroger's, whatever you want to call it. Well, Hayden, don't you give up. Don't you give up. I've been on here a year next month doing live streams. But I've been uploading videos for a few years. And it take a while. If you got good content in your videos, you're going to get there. You're going to get there. A good car wreck or a house fire or stuff like that. You're going to get there. Don't give up. Yeah, I'm one of your 5 subs. You know, when people subscribe to me, I subscribe to you. Because God wants me to help you all out. We're a family, no matter if we're young or old or middle. Hello, Copwatch. Yep, I've been eating ham since today's Friday, I guess Wednesday night. You know, I cooked it in the crock pot. I think I put it in there Tuesday. Put my pineapple in it and cook it on low. And when you go to cut it, it just fell to pieces. That's how I like it. It fell to pieces. That was good. And I had stove stuffing. But there's other things I like to have, but I didn't get. I figure some ex-girlfriends, ex-wives, or future girlfriends would fix me some dressing and persimmon pudding and stuff like that. As one of my kids, Mom had one of those potato smashers, you know. It's like a metal thing. You put your potatoes in there after you cook it and you squeeze it and it comes out like fishing worms. That's one of my kids says. Which it does look like fishing worms when you put the potatoes in there and squeeze it. It comes out like fishing worms. That's good mashed potatoes. And we went to Charlestown. I didn't get nothing important. Well, I'm gonna have a turkey for Christmas because that'll get me probably 3 to 5 days meal out of it. Well, that's one thing I saw in Kroger's or JC store. Since you talk about hamburger, they had Wendy's hamburger all packaged up with Wendy's name on it. And probably Monday, I will go to the JC store up there in Scottsburg and get it. If they don't have it, I'm going to have to wait until Friday when I go to Charlestown. My son picks his medicine up. It's supposed to be ready at 10 o'clock, and it wasn't ready. And he told me, said, well, we'll be here next Friday. You know, it's stupid. And I also want to tell you people is, you know, a nurse, maybe work in the doctor's office or in the hospital, thanking for their service, just like a veteran or a truck driver. Thanking for their service, especially truck drivers. Look everything you got in your house, your clothes, your automobile, your computers. Think a truck driver, and especially a nurse that works in the hospital. They go through a lot. If they're in the ER, the critical care unit, in there, the critical care with the babies, you know, babies is in bad shape. I want to ask you people something. You saw on the news today in Washington, D.C., a lady, 20 years old, National Guard, got killed. She died, and they charged the Muslim or Iraq person with murder. Okay. I'm asking your veterans that's in the Guard unit. I know when you go to war, you got a flak vest or a bulletproof vest on. Does the National Guard have those flak vests? That's my question. Do they have those flak vests or bulletproof vests on? I believe those soldiers, one wouldn't die, one's in critical care in the hospital. I don't think they have the flak jacket or the bulletproof vest. If they don't, I blame the people in Washington, D.C. I even blame the president. Oh, she was shot in the head. They didn't say. They didn't say. That wouldn't protect her. But I know they make some kind of bulletproof stuff that you can put on your head. That I know of. And the guy that killed her, he was from what, Iraq, I believe, and worked for the CIA. Maybe a snitch for the CIA. It looks like he was on his way to kill President Trump. That's what I'm thinking. But Trump is even PO about the CIA, letting that idiot to come in here. He done it legal. But in a way, he was a spy for the Iraq people, in my book. And I want you to say prayers for them National Guards, even the guy that's in the hospital in critical care. And the girl that got killed, she's a beautiful girl. But I think she was 20 years old. Her life was just getting started. The United States government, I know, it's crazy. And I've listened to Buck and Clay today, and I agree with Trump. A president has to sign all them bills by hand, not use a machine like Biden did. That's illegal. Even the pardons he did, it was done by, I say, computerized signature. You all know what I'm talking about. That is illegal. When you sign any important papers like Trump does, you sign it with your own handwriting. You do not use a machine because that is illegal. And that's wrong. Just like all them pardons that Biden done. He done that with that machine and it signs his, signature. That is illegal, people. You young kids who's very smart, you need to look it up. If you don't believe me, you know how to do it. That's one thing to ask your history teacher. And, ask your history teacher, is that legal? Even look it up on the internet. Hello, 709. You still in St. John's or you back home by now? But, they're fussing about what Biden did. My Thanksgiving was okay. I had ham. And I had stove stuffing. Well, I think some people have tacos. Some had hamburgers. That's okay. I only have ham about once a year. No. No. But, people, it's nice. It's nice. Everybody had a good Thanksgiving on the way back home. There goes my red hearts. Thank you. Whoever it is, I love you. And there got to be something else on TV besides Maury. You know, but I had my bath. I took my medicine. I filled my pill container up, and my day went pretty good. And I'm not like it's 20. I think it's 26 degrees outside. State of Indiana, down here where I live in the southern part of Indiana, close to the Kentucky border. The state went and put that rain down, like salt water down all over the roads. They're talking north of Indiana, 50 miles or so away. They're talking about a whole lot of snow. I guarantee you, Joanne, if you like possum stew, Kentucky has a deal. They call it bagoo, or something like it. It got all kinds of meats in it, and vegetables, corn, green beans, all that. And it has tomato juice, bagoo. Look it up, people. I think it got goat's meat, possums, raccoon, cows. It got all kinds of meats in it. And you cook it in one of those big black pots. And you got fire underneath it. That's how you cook it, that bagoo. And, oh, that's good. My neighbor, before I got this house, before my a-hole brother kicked me out of the house, that he asked me if me and my mom would want some. I said, neither one of us tried it. So I took enough, where we had 2 helpings each. Mom loved it. Said, what's this called? And I told her, bagoo, or something, and, that was good. And I want to say hi to all the foxy ladies. And I was watching Murray. It's probably an old Murray show. And had this girl, a little bit on the chubby side, and a boyfriend. She'd been cheating on her boyfriend for a year with her boyfriend's best friend. How can people cheat on each other? That's what marriage is about, or dating someone. You stay true to your mate. And, that kind of made me mad. They showed this couple, another couple, on a lie detector. And I tell people, don't take a lie detector because you're guaranteed to flunk. It has to do with your blood pressure, your nerves. Do you have bad nerves? Or medicine you take. And if you got bad nerves, high blood pressure, you take certain medicine, you're going to flunk. Don't sign any papers because they tell you they can't use it in court against you. Don't let them lie to you. You sign a paper and it gives them permission to use it in court. Listen to your attorney. Do not take a lie detector. Don't offer to take a lie detector. You're guaranteed to flunk. And like I said, people, that 20-year-old National Guard lady, she is a foxy 20-year-old lady that got murdered by that Iraq person this week. And the other guy, he's still in critical condition. Say prayers for the family. Prayers does work. And if you live here in the United States and they got what they call shop with a cop. Shop with a cop. If you could donate pennies and nickels, quarters, and dollars, it goes to help out the kids. It's low income in elementary school, and I think kindergarten. And it helps them out. And maybe in your city or town, you got what they call the angel tree. They've got names on the angel tree, what they like to have for Christmas. Clothes sizes, how old they are, the toys, and all that. Think about that, the angel tree. And, I know money's tight. Another thing I want to warn you about, people, you got money set aside for rainy days. And you heard that we're going to get $2,000 check in January. Also, they said we're going to get $600 added onto our Social Security for 6 months. Don't count on it. Do not tap into your rainy day fund. Don't do that. You're going to find out that our government lies to us, just like they have lied to the Indians when they done the treaty with the Indians. They lied to them. So I want you all to be careful. I keep thinking today was either Monday or Tuesday, and I found out it was Friday. These holidays blows my mind. And it does. It blows my mind. Maybe I need a foxy lady hillbilly. Hey, Joanne, have you ever tried raccoon hamburgers? You know, if people knows how to, you know, if people knows how to cook hamburgers, you know, and I know people that can cook deer hamburgers. If they know what they doing, you cannot tell if it's hamburger or deer or raccoon or possum. You can't tell. If the person knows what they doing, you cannot tell the difference. If they don't tell you it's a deer or a possum or raccoon or bison or antelope or caribou, if you know, or moose, if you know how to cook, you can't tell the difference. Yeah, they are. If you know how to cook, like one of my foxy ladies I was married to, I think it was her aunt, and she cooked it, and you could not tell it was deer. I don't know how she done it, but you couldn't tell the difference between hamburger or what. She knew what she was doing. She knew. Just like my Uncle Pete. The fish either came from Florida or Canada. I don't like any kind of fish, period. And he had one of those outside boilers with oil in it. And you all remember PBS, KETV, where they had that Cajun guy on there. I wish they put that Cajun guy back on KETV or PBS. And my uncle used Cajun stuff to do his fish. And you know, if you go by McDonald's or Moby Dick's or someplace that does fish, you can smell it. You can smell the cooking fish. But the way my uncle fixed it with all that Cajun stuff, it didn't smell like fish. You know, maybe it's a certain type of fish. I don't know. Like I said, they either came from Canada or Florida, because he owned property in Florida. He owned property there in Canada. And I tried some. It tastes like hamburger. And my uncle said, Tom, you know what you eating? I said, Uncle Pete, it don't smell like fish. It don't taste like fish. It tastes like hamburger. You know, that's the truth. That's the first time and the last time I eat fish. But that Cajun cooking, them Cajun people can really cook. Well, my ex-father-in-law, dead father-in-law, my son's grandpa, he always went out hunting for mushrooms. And he gathered garbage bags full of mushrooms. Took them home, put them in the sink, and washed them and sold them to people. And people loved them mushrooms. And they was good. I like mushrooms on pizza and olives. The only thing I don't like on pizza, people, is anchovies. And I didn't know they was fish eggs at the time I ate it. They didn't tell me. They pulled a sneakeroo on me. One of my ex-wives from New Albany and a guy named Al and his old lady, we went to a pizza place. He ordered an extra large pizza with everything on it, and I didn't pay attention. I was young and stupid, and it was back in the 70s. I did not know what anchovies are at that time. And they didn't tell me till after we ate it and left. And they told me. I know it's in my mind, but I kind of got sick and threw up. I know it was in my mind. They done a rotten trick. Just like one of my kids. I forget what that place called in New Albany. She had a friend, a girlfriend, that worked. It's kind of like a fast food. It wasn't McDonald's, it wasn't Rowley's, and she knew I liked cherry Coke. She know I don't like Dr. Pepper. She got me cherry Dr. Pepper, but when she came out, you know, she kind of had a smile on. You know, anchovies probably not bad on pizza. You know, my son, he orders pizzas from Papa John's. I guess the meat lover, that's ham and sausage and I don't know what else. I don't really mind the meat lover, but usually when he orders a pizza, I usually get 2 slices. That's all I want. And he can eat the whole pizza by himself, but I usually get 2 pieces of it. You know. But baby kitty cats was out there for supper tonight. And I'm taking the LB's the mama. Or one of her kids is the mama. It's not Butch because she's still pregnant. So it gotta be LB's baby. They're scaredy cats. But if they're LB's baby, she messed up this time because she usually has them underneath the porch. Usually the babies will cry when they hear my voice. They kept quiet. They kept quiet. You know, they might be at the end of the porch. I talked to them. I talked to them babies, and they see me petting the bigger cats, even Midnight, Wildcat. That's the only time I can pet them when it's din time. And but my kitty cats, people, is my therapy animals. People got service animals, therapy animals. It might be a cow, it might be a rooster, or a pig, or a horse, or a dog, or a cat, or a raccoon, or a parakeet. You know, they got service animals. And the kitty cats is my service animals. And I love my kitty cats. They're like my kids. Okay, 709. In the house, I got 5, all female cats. Outside, I got 15 to 20 outside. And, and I think one of those babies that I see, I think gonna look like a Grandma Blackie, long-haired black cat, it looks like. So it has to be LB's. Because I don't think Boots have any long-haired kitty cats since she's been here about 8 years. And there shouldn't be. There shouldn't be. But I walked out to the shed the other day. The only problem I got is those idiot, stupid, blind moles, MOE moles in my backyard. You know, I hate them stupid moles. I haven't seen any cats catch a mole, but, you know, if they want a steak dinner, they have to catch the mice and the moles. And Boots, in the early part of the week, caught a squirrel. I got a squirrel tail on my porch. It's nice of the mama cats catching birds and mice and giving it to their babies. Let them get a taste of a mouse, maybe a mole, or squirrels or birds. Hello, Anthony. No, I can't. I can't sing worth a plug nickel. Maybe if I went back to drinking alcohol and smoking marijuana, yeah, I sing quite a bit when I used to drink. They're kind of like flowers. They're kind of like flowers. That's something on YouTube that you can do, especially on your cell phone. You know, you got like it's on the cell phone. You got turn your camera around, you got your microphone, you got like your star. That's where I found it. Hello, Matthew, welcome. Did you have a good turkey or ham or whatever you and your family yesterday? I hope everybody didn't eat too much. When you eat too much, you get sick. And I think I'm having some medical problems, people. The last 4 to 6 hours, I've been having a little pain in my chest. I might have to take a nitro pill tonight. I don't know. It could be because I've been eating the heck out of ham. And, you know, it's hurting right up in here. It could be interjection. But I got no pain in my arm like the last 4 heart attacks I had. If I had this one foxy lady that I was married to, and she was like a QMA or a nurse, something like that, what she done. And I know she had heart attacks and strokes. I don't think I ever had strokes because the doctors always said it was heart attack. I guess I can look it up and see the difference between. Okay, you take it easy, Matthew. You know, and everybody, you know the rules, even you two, even kids, they got to have their parents or guardian there. And I watched this one video. His father or mother was right there with him. That's a good parent, you know, a good guardian. Okay, see you later, Matthew. Bye, Matthew. God loves you. Have fun what you're doing. Have sweet dreams. Since tomorrow's Saturday, kids usually gets to stay up late on Friday nights because there's no school on Saturday. I hope you don't get snow tonight because they're calling for snow north of us. Maybe some flurries here. But if you want to change the weather, people, I know I live in Indiana. They call it the Ohio Valley region. You never know what it's going to do. Okay, you still getting over Thanksgiving. Or your family's working you hard. You know, that's the funny thing about being the kid. You have to work around the house. You either have to take the trash out, cut the yard, or pick up apples out of the yard if you got apple trees like I did. You always got to do some kind of work, to help your parents out. Wash the dishes, learn how to wash clothes, give your mom and dad a break. Learn how to vacuum the floors and mop the floors. How to feed the kitty cats in the house and outside the house, and the doggy. When I was a kid, we had a doggy and cats. The cats always that was outside slept with the dog. Smart doggy and smart kitty cat. And I want to say hi to everybody in Canada. REM 709, Jacob. There's a couple of more. It's from Canada. And people, if you want to learn about Canada, go to 709 Concert Videos. And he show you videos where he lives in Canada. And your kids are still in school. I don't know if they still teach it in government or history class. I don't know if they still teach it. Like where Jacob lives. He lives in Canada, but he lives close to New York. And other parts of Canada, like Vermont, half of Vermont is in Canada and Vermont. You can look it up. Hello, Dr. Who, whatever, where. Hey, welcome back, my friend. You know, I like Canada. I know more about St. John, but, well, since that idiot City TV, which is a Canada TV station, and I'm boycotting Hudson and Rex. Hudson and Rex, they're in the province of St. John's. They fired Charlie Hudson, also known as John Ridden, because he had cancer. That makes me mad. I'm boycotting it, and I'm not watching Hudson Rex. They come on Mondays and Saturdays. I don't watch them anymore because what they done to John Ridden because he had cancer. How many people got cancer? And that shows the people of Canada, the United States, and other countries that watch Hudson and Rex. And if you don't back your people who has cancer, or your ladies that's on the show that got breast cancer, you all know who Michael Fox is. That is baloney. That is baloney. You all know who Michael Fox is. If you all don't know who Michael Fox is, it's the boy that played Back to the Future. And you know what he has. And everybody is standing behind Michael Fox. I think it's Michael J. Fox, I think. They're standing behind him. That's what Hudson and Rex should do. City TV should stand behind John Ridden. Yeah, Parkinson. I couldn't think of it. I was going to say Alzheimer's. But everybody's standing behind Michael J. Fox because he's educating us. If Hudson Rex producers or editors, whatever you call them, AOs in Canada, if they would have backed him, talk about cancer. How many people in Canada or on this planet has cancer, especially the ladies who has breast cancer? That shows me that City TV and those producers, whatever you call them, don't care about your people who's actors who might have cancer or Parkinson's or anything like that. I can't watch a show like that and don't stand behind those actors. They fired him because he had cancer. He's over cancer from the way I hear Charlie talk and some stuff. That is wrong. That is wrong. I know some people cares. Some TV shows cares about their actors because they know there's a whole lot of people that might have cancer, Parkinson's, or some kind of disability. Some of them does care, some of them don't. But what City TV did there in Canada, maybe St. John's area, I guess. I know you have to pay subscriptions for it. But it makes me mad. I'm hoping those advertisements pull their ads for Charlie Hudson and Rex. They should pull their ads and listen to us people here in the United States, the people in Canada, Russia, England, wherever the people's watching it. Don't, boycott them. And I watched a few of season 8. That actor that took Charlie place don't know his a-hole from the hole in the ground. And even the dog don't like him. I don't know, but I know there's some foreign countries that watches Hudson and Rex. but I can't remember what country that watched him off, you know. If I don't write it down, I can't remember. I love Hudson, just like that dog. They work good together. The dog trusts him. And the original Rex, he went by Diesel. He died of cancer, and his nephews took it over. But those dogs loved Charlie Hudson, known as John Redden. Worked real good with him. But this other actor that took Charlie's place, the dog and the guy that took Charlie's place, they don't work together. Hello, Peter Kane. How you doing? You know, everybody got to get along, even in TV or movies. And I wish I had enough money, because I would love to have some chocolate ice cream. I have to wait until the 7th. I can't dig into my money I get paid, let's see, Wednesday, I think. And I'm going to have to buy maybe 2 gallons of chocolate ice cream. Well, really 3 gallons, because 3 gallons will last me the whole month. I did buy 2 gallons of milk. I drink maybe 1 glass or 2 glasses of milk a week for my calcium. You know, but I guess I could go in there and put a bag of popcorn in the microwave and have me some popcorn tonight. Yep, I love watching Jack Tripper. Three's a Company. I only got 2 bedrooms, but I don't know if I could live in a house with 2 girls. I'd be in trouble. I'd be in trouble. I'd be in trouble. As some of the foxy ladies I've been married to says, I think with the wrong head. Well, that's back in my younger days. I know everybody cares. People say, why are you on YouTube? I said, I'm an old man, single, on fixed income, nobody to talk to. My son says, Dad, you worse than a woman. All you want to do is talk, 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 talk. Well, that's true. When you stuck out in the country, you got no fast food restaurants close to your house, or a grocery store, or a post office, or a bank. You stuck. Okay, Joanne. You have a good night. I believe I'll be glad when you pass everything from your surgery. And if you all going to get snow tonight, It depends where you live. If you live in northern Indiana, Ohio, Michigan area, and you're going to get snow. The way they're talking about this, we're going to get snow. You know, snow flurries for me, I still can get out. If we get more than 3 inches of snow, I can't get out of my driveway. You know, 3 to 6 inches, I can't get out of my driveway. Well, 4 inches to be on the safe side. I can't get out of my driveway. The county road people, I don't know how they clean your county roads, but they don't use salt. They use cinders and sand and pea gravel. They might use some salt on the curves, but you get out to the state highways, they use that rain and salt, and they got some chemicals in with the salt. You see that blue stuff when it gets down to a certain temperature. Like I said, it's about 20-something outside. It was getting a little chilly in my house. Who would you want to the way other folks? Well, people, you know, if you don't have to get out, stay at home. Stock up on your groceries in case you can't get out. If you got a 4-wheel drive, I'm going to say Jeep. I kind of like Jeeps, especially when it snows. 4-wheel drive pickup truck ain't bad. If you got it weighed down with sandbags or stuff like that, or got a good topper on it where you can throw snow in the back of it and have some weight. 4-wheel drive does good, but I got a front-wheel drive, and I don't like it when it snows. But if I ever get rich, people, I mean rich, I'd buy me a brand new, probably Jeep, something like a Gladiator or a pickup truck. You know, I know Jeeps make other pickup trucks. I like to have a pickup truck with a 4-wheel drive, a new one. Why a new one? Warranty. If anything breaks, the warranty. I'm about 20 years older than you, doctor. You know, I don't care about snow. When I was young, I was stupid. I used to go out in the school parking lot and do donuts in the school parking lot at the high school. I'd rather have my kitty cats. If I didn't have my kitty cats, people, I'd be going. I'd be going nuts without my kitty cats. Ain't that right, Alex? Ain't that right, baby? Alex is up on my dresser where she likes to sleep. I love all animals. I feed all kinds of animals. I feed possum, raccoons, and I don't know what else I feed outside. Sometimes there's deer out there. Well, I don't mind having a dog, but my yard's not fenced in. You know, it probably cost me probably $5,000 to fence my yard in, put a gate across the road, go up to the main road and down and back down and all this. You know, I just don't have the money. And I don't know if my kitty cats would, my outside cats would get along with a dog or not. Well, if a dog decides to walk down my driveway, which I chase them all away when they do that, cats goes hide. They can smell a dog. They don't mind possums and raccoons. Yeah, I don't mind being fenced in. But I got property to the west of me. And the guy owns that has the, I call it the back 40. It's behind me, which is south of me, on the back 40. And he cuts through my yard to get back to his property, which I don't have to let him do it. You know, I was raised to be nice to people. You know. But there's probably, counting the one I got to the west of me, my side yard and my backyard, it's probably total of 20 acres, I think. I like to have it. But I ain't got the money to buy it. I think he might take around somewhere between 150,000 to 250,000. And I could probably make some money out of it, let him cut it for hay and straw. But one part back there is what they call wetland. You can't cut the grass. You can only cut it either August or September. Then you have to bush hog it. And it has a pond back there too. I would cut all those trees down too because it interferes with my outside TV antenna. And you know, besides that, I couldn't cut 20 acres with a push mower. I would have to have, yeah, it is moist back there and it's wet. Good night, Joanne. Sweet dreams and, you know, that one part back there, I would have to have a bush hog. Or what they call the bush hog, what do you call it? The back wings. You got 3 bush hogs together. You know, I just don't got the money. But when they go back there to cut that for hay and straw, I take my chair and I go back there and watch them. It gives me something to do. Yeah, I don't mind living out in the country, people. I've been a city boy for 65 years. And rent back there before I bought this house was anywhere from $300 a month up to $2,000 a month. And what I get, I couldn't afford to find me a place to rent. Maybe I could with the help of Section 8. I had to buy me a house. You know, I wanted a house with a basement in it, and a garage, and a shed, washer and dryer, icebox, bathtub, shower, at least 2 bedrooms. I got everything except a basement and a garage. I would love to have a garage. That way I can pull my car in there for the winter. I can put more stuff in the garage, you know, have a bench you put your tools up on. If I ever get rich, I'm going to have me a garage. I'm going to build on the west side of my house, probably on the east side of my house. And I would have to cut that tree. No carport. Carport, you're still going to have wind and rain and snow blow into your carport. I'd rather have a garage, have it insulated. Well, if the garage is attached to the house, you would have to use that foam insulation, the close cell insulation to spray all the cracks in the garage. Well, that's what I get for not having money. Well, my favorite ice cream, Peter, I like chocolate ice cream. I'm a chocolate fiend. Oh, I gotta get comfortable. I gotta get comfortable. I gotta get comfortable. I can only lay down so long. I can only sit up for so long. When you get old and you got arthritis and back problems, I do get my exercise. I do walk to the bathroom. I walk to the kitchen. I do walk outside. I kind of like to have a rocking chair. I have fell asleep in a rocking chair or a recliner. And You can do that anywhere. Yeah, I know. But people, people, if it's snowing where you're at, if you don't have to get out, stay at home and be safe if you're coming back from. Yep, I like John F. Kennedy. I grew up with John Kennedy. I was probably, let's see, how old was, maybe 10 to 12 years old when John F. Kennedy was killed. Murder, but not by the person who said they done it. Because what I can remember, John F. Kennedy was going to do away with the CIA. And the CIA probably had something to do with killing Kennedy. And one thing I don't understand, people, about John F. K., him and the vice president, John LBJ, he didn't like LB, the vice president, but he chose him for vice president. If you don't like somebody, why did John F. K. make him the vice president? I said he had something to do with killing Kennedy too. Or maybe it was, just me. But, I love John F. I didn't like some of the things that he was a traitor. I did not like LBJ. I did not like him. I did like Reagan. I loved Reagan, President Ronald Reagan. I loved him when he was an actor. I loved Reagan's wife, Nancy. Reagan was a good president in my book. I don't care if he was a Democrat or a Republican. I loved him. But Reagan was a good president. So was John F. Kennedy. The government, in my book, killed him. As you all remember, you saw it on TV, that newspaper or TV reporter walked in there. Hello, Hidden Energy. He went there to kill the guy supposedly killed Kennedy. He went in there to kill him, to shut him up. Exactly what happened. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. I grew up with that crap, and I didn't trust the government back there when I was 10 years old. It sticks with you. And I tell you, people, our government and Trump says we're going to get $2,000 sometime in January. Also, they said that we're going to get $600 for 6 months, to add on to our Social Security. And I don't believe it. People, don't get into your rainy day fund. Because don't count on getting any of that money until it shows up into your bank account. I could use the money. I could use it, but I'm not counting on it because I know how the government is. They lie to you. Oh, I just thought of something. it was on maybe WLKY or WDRB TV today. I didn't think schools does this anymore. People, I want you to pay attention. This was on the news, local news in the area. At Jeffersonville High School, that's in Jeffersonville, Indiana, known as the Red Devils. This teacher, he had the bathroom duty. And I want you to listen to me because I don't believe, they still do that in school. He went into the bathroom and the kids was in there smoking Mary Jane. That is stupid. They shouldn't have a teacher to go in the bathrooms and check for drugs and that. They got drugs in Jeffersonville High School in Jeffersonville, Indiana. And this young punk, I call him a young a-hole, punk. And the teacher asked him to come out of the toilet area. He's back there smoking his marijuana. And I tell you something, I thought this is illegal. I want your people's opinion. Well, they got something better than that. They got cameras in the bathroom. They got cameras in the bathroom at Jeffersonville High School in Indiana. How do I know that? Well, that boy tried to beat the crap out of the teacher. And the teacher put him in a chokehold in the bathroom. They had it on camera. Is that illegal to have cameras in the bathroom? Jeffersonville High School got cameras in the bathroom. They showed it on the news today. Ain't that illegal? Why is my tax dollars paying to put cameras in the bathroom where they're not supposed to be in? I know. They had cameras in the bathroom, but not, I don't know if it shows where they do a 10-100 where they draining the radiator or what, but it showed them right there by the bathroom door. And they showed the teacher had a chokehold on him. He got a good lawyer. And the kid's parents got a lawyer going to sue Jeffersonville High School and the teacher. But I think they should sue the school for having cameras in the bathroom. That's illegal. I wish the rest of the kids that goes to Jeffersonville High School in Jeffersonville, Indiana. That's right there on the Louisville, Kentucky border. And that's illegal. That is illegal. They showed it on the news today. They showed him choking the kid in the bathroom. And if they didn't have cameras in there, a teacher wouldn't get in trouble. So that shows that Jeffersonville, Indiana High School is breaking the law. Hello, KK. How you doing, my friend? Welcome. Glad you're on here again. I miss talking to you, sweet, foxy ladies. That's not sexual harassment. 'Cause all the ladies is foxy. Skinny, medium, and fat. And there's people out there for skinny people chubby and fat people. There's people out there for anybody. Well, I know when I was in school, people, this is where the problem is. Our government's telling us how to raise our kids. You used to get whippings in school. You don't. Now kids are threatening to kill teachers, threatening to hurt the teachers. That's what this kid did in the bathroom, threatened the teacher. I love KK. She's a sweet person. And, it makes me mad. I don't know if the local TV station or the parents is going to get on the school to take the cameras out of the bathroom. You guys that's in school, you got the toilet if you have to take a dump. If you have to drain your radiator hose, you stand up. If they got the cameras seeing all this crap, the toilet, I don't think they would. But you're there draining your radiator, the camera's looking at you. Ain't that illegal? I'm asking your people in Indiana, especially Clark County, Indiana, that is illegal to film a kid in the bathroom. What's wrong with you sickos there at the Greater Clark County schools? Maybe you're all pedophiles. Maybe. Maybe you like to look at boys and their ball bats. I don't know. They must be pedophiles. I leave it up to you all to figure that out. Because that is stupid and illegal. Yeah. I like to see that make WAVE, WHAS, WLKY, WDRB TV, which is all in Louisville, Kentucky. I like to see them do a story on cameras in the bathroom. I kind of wish that Indiana State Police would go after them. That's illegal. That's kiddie porn in my book. I don't know if the kids knew there was cameras in the bathroom. I don't know. But it's illegal, period. Greater Clark County schools, that is illegal. You cannot have cameras in the bathroom. You done got yourself in trouble. You got your butts in a sling now. I don't want my taxes go out in a lawsuit because you got cameras in the bathroom. If you got them in the boys' bathroom, that means you got them in the girls' bathroom. To me, that makes Jeffersonville High School pedophiles. The principal, the school board. I remember hearing the name, but people, it POs me off. Your parents, that should PO you off too. Especially if you live in Clark County and your kids go to Greater Clark County School. That should PO you off. Because they showed it in the bathroom when the teacher was choking that kid because that kid threatened the teacher. Now they convicted themselves for kiddie porn, voyeurism. I can understand having it on the outside of the bathroom, but inside the bathroom, no. I disagree with it. And you kids, I would talk about it on your YouTube channel. Maybe there's some kids from Clark County, Indiana, which includes Clarksville, Jeffersonville, Charlestown, New Washington, Borden. I think that's all the schools. Oh, Salisbury, Henryville. That's all in Clark County area. You kids need to talk about it. Pay attention the next time your girls and boys has to go to the bathroom in your school. Look for cameras. See if they're watching you in the bathroom. If they are, complain to your parents, and they can make police reports. That makes me mad. When I saw it on the news today, they was in the bathroom. The teacher did have his hand, like that, because his life was threatened by this punk. That's what he is, a punk. Because kids don't have respect for teachers anymore. They don't. Parents let their kids get by with bloody murder. When I was young, if your parents whipped your rear end. It could be. They could have. People, your young people knows where to go to look on the internet. They make some kind of thing to look for cameras or microphones. They have stuff like that. You young people knows what I'm talking about. I don't know if it's infrared or what. You young people knows what I'm talking about. They can find cameras like maybe in the bathroom. The hallway, I can see it, but not the bathroom. No way. That's illegal. Greater Clark County School is breaking the damn law. Sorry, people, but that makes me mad. To me, the Greater Clark County School is a pedophile in my book. Why would you have cameras in the bathroom spying on the boys and girls? That makes him a pedophile. I want you kids to be safe. In school, out of school. We had rough houses. When I was young, if you got in a fight, the teacher would take you down to the gym class in the boxing ring, put gloves on you, and you box it out. That's what they used to do. That's what we used to do back in the 60s and 70s. The teacher would take you to the gym, you put boxing gloves on, you'd duke it out. But you can't do it nowadays. You can't even spank a kid's butt. But they can threaten to beat the crap out of a teacher or a principal or a lunchroom worker. You can't do. Well, we did, because they taught us boxing, wrestling, ballroom dancing, square dancing, how to bowl on a bowling alley, how to keep score. I don't think they do that anymore. That's only my opinion. I don't even think they got metal shop anymore, wood shop anymore. You make your gun shelf, or you make in woodworking, you make cabinets. That's what we did when. No, We even had a trampoline. They taught us how to jump on a trampoline, but we all stand around the trampoline in gym class. I don't think they have a trampoline anymore. They used to have a swimming pool, but thanks to Boss Hogg, you know who Boss Hogg is from Duke of Hazzard, we had a stupid mayor. His nickname was Boss Hogg. He was stupid. Hogwarts. No, I don't. And he gave the swimming pool away to the Greater Clark County School. During the summertime, when it was warm, we went out and learned how to swim in the swimming pool and this and that. And they don't have a swimming pool anymore. That stupid mayor gave that property to the school system. He was an a-hole mayor. That's one I don't like, people. But it's up to your kids to help us old people out, your parents out. Because one day you'll be our age. So if you start helping your parents out and their future, then you're going to have a future. And like I said, your kids, I couldn't live without you on here giving information to help me learn about computers, cell phone, different programs, how to do this and that. I don't know what we old people would do without your computer smart people, cell phone people, smart TV people. We can't do it without your younger generation. You taught us a lot. Because when I was your age, we didn't have computers. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have all the gadgets like your younger generation has today. But I'm very proud of your younger generation. I don't like bullies. Kids gets bullied in school. And the middle age group, over 18, gets bullied. Us old people gets bullied. Let's stop getting bullied. Report that. Stop abusing women. Treat your ladies with respect. You know, you got to be nice to everybody. I think I'm going to fix me some popcorn tonight. Go get me a bag of popcorn, wrinkle it all up real good, and put it in the microwave. I have some popcorn. I done took my medicine. I made sure when I got out of the bathtub, because I was cold. When I got in my warm water, it seems hot, but I was cold as a cucumber. That's one thing you younger people got to watch out. Make sure you eat the right food. You know, I want you all to eat the right food. I don't want to see any of your kids. No, I'm about ready to get off, doctor. I'm about ready to get off. I've been on here about an hour and 35 minutes. Yeah, about an hour and 35 minutes. I went over my time limit. But I had to let you people know some things. about what happened at the Greater Clark County schools, especially Jeffersonville High School, what happened this week. I had to let you know about the cameras inside the bathroom. You know, I don't like it. I'm hoping if anybody that's in Clark County, Indiana, I would talk with your parents, especially if you go to Jeff High School. If they got it in Jeff High School, they got it in other schools in the Greater Clark County School Districts, I would say. I don't mind it being in the hallways or the cafeteria or the classrooms, but not inside the bathroom. To me, that shows Jeffersonville High School is a pedophile school. To me. And it's up to your kids to look out for stuff like it. If it does in one school, it could probably be in your school. I don't mind the cameras being outside of the bathroom door, but not inside. I don't like it. I hope your kids don't like it. It's up to your kids. If you're here in Indiana, in Clark County, Indiana, it's up to your kids to stop it. It's up to your kids in the United States, because if it happens here, it could be going on in your school. It could be possible it's happening in your school. I know they got some tools that can detect cameras in a house, a motel room, or a bathroom. You know, your younger people know what I'm talking about. You probably know what it's called. And if your kids are smart enough to figure that out, put it on your YouTube channel. I don't like it. Hello, hidden energy. So, people, it's time to get off of here for the night. You know, I want to thank you all for being polite tonight. Thank my moderators. Thank you all that has subscribed tonight, making my dreams to come true by Christmas. Bye. God loves you all. Remember, God loves you all. Your mother and dad love you. Your grandparents love you. Good night, you all. Thank a nurse. If you see a nurse, thank them for their service. Or a truck driver, thank them for their service. I love you all, but remember, God loves you too. He has not given up on you. Good night, and I love you.